trouble managing our tasks until one of my colleagues found Monday.com. You can see the task owner, what the deadline is.
Okay. All right. I have got to do an obligatory share on my social media. All right. Okay, I think I've got everything. Yay. Okay. All right. All right. Social media is covered. Everything's covered. Everything is good. Where were we from the last time? Okay. Get my chat up here. What was I? Okay, so as the description implies, I got ideas. I got some thoughts, some ideas after thinking on this. I have a mechanic that I want to implement ASAP. ASAP. So here's what I'm thinking. So I've got 3 new animations, right? So I'm basically gonna give myself melee attack. Oops, those are the wrong animations. That's from the wrong pack, from the wrong thing. Here we go. So, I got some animation. So I got like this forward stab thing that I made. So basically, this is going to be for a dash attack. It's going to have like a dash forward. Needs more Marios. I'll make like what's like the most rip-off type of Mario you could think of? Would that be like he's an interior decorator and he's French? His name's Marvin. I can get away with that, right? I won't get sued. He's got a mustache, but it's not thick. His hat's blue. Wears red overalls. I can get away with that, right? That's a thing. I'm thinking of rip-off Marios because I can't put Mario in this game. Okay, so I got this animation. Ooh, oh my goodness. And I have this animation where he's like poking the air. So this would be like he would play this when he jumps and attacks. And then I have this one. So the sword's going to be facing the wrong direction because of the way that I have the socket placed. But imagine the sword pointing down and not straight through his face. This is going to be like the pogo attack like Shovel Knight has. So I'm going to give him those 3 type of attacks. Then I have like the regular attacks. So the way I'm going to do this is I have to give him an attacking state. I'm trying not to be so tired. I don't want to drink coffee though. So here's what I gotta do first. First things first on the realist. I'm gonna go into project settings. I should make myself a drink. That's what I should do. I might actually. Depends on. Let me just set some stuff up and consider making myself a drink. So I don't need any VR stuff. So right now all I've got is jump. I'm going to make a new action called attack. This is going to be this is going to be the square button on a PlayStation controller or the X button on the Xbox controller. It's just going to be the left face button. And then the mouse is going to be the left mouse button. The left click. Okay. We got our button set up. It's the easiest part. So now I can dynamically call the attack event because I just made it. Okay. Easy part's done. Now the question is, what is this doing? There's a few ways I take care of attacks. And I don't want this to be very complex, so I'm going to take advantage of a few things with the animation system. So I have to make a montage. Everything's better in a montage. Montage! Okay. I'm just going to do attack montage. Okay. Montages are fantastic. Montages, I love montages. They're like one of the best inventions ever. So I'm going to put all this in here. What? What happened? What? Do I have to have a preview animation? This can't be, right? I don't need one of those. Right? Right? It keeps on highlighting additive. Is this like something new? Do I really have to have an additive animation? Like, effing really? Whatever. Um, Suddenly, everything's changed in Unreal. I don't remember this being a thing. What is happening? I should just be able to add animations, right? Straight up. Am I like, am I being punked right now? What the hell is going on? Base pose. Like, I could just put the idol in there, right? That's not a thing. I don't even know what's happening right now. This is really upsetting me. Because, like, in other versions of the engine, this is never a problem. I really should just be able to throw this in there, right? Guys, why is it doing this? I don't want it. I don't like it. I don't like it. No Kiro. Okay, I got him on. I have no idea what the additive pose stuff is all about. Like, I literally had to show me the way. Do you know the way? Okay, whatever. Okay. Anyway, well, I got it in. I'll have to read the documentation as to what the heck is happening. Oh, anyway, so the idea of montages is you put labels on a set of animations, right? And like the idea is that like it's all on one timeline, but programmatically I am able to call animations in any order that I want, and it will play them. It's going to search this timeline, and if I can type well ever, it's going to, like, I can call, I have all these labels here for montage sections, and now in my scripting, if I call attack 1, he's just going to play this one, but I can call attack 3 and he'll play that one without having to play these two attacks preceding it. So I'm just going to distribute these, and I'm going to you know what? I'm just going to keep it as the default. If you're watching this and you know what's going on, don't judge me. I don't care. This isn't a game that's going to be sold. So you quit judging me. How about that, huh? So I'm gonna try a few things. Look, Jose is appalled how aggressive I am about this. Yeah, I said it. I said it. Everything is fine. Everything is it. That's right. That's right. Everything is fine, Jose. That's what the government wants you to think. Nods profusely. That's right. I'm going to make a variable out of you. Pawn reference. Now I can pull this reference out, get this, and I can dispatch. Let's see. Can actually bind, dispatch. I guess I can just do this here. Yeah, there's no event, I know. Attack anim event. Attack anims. Okay. So yeah. Montage play. So attack montage, play rate, and then section. Montage, jump to section. So this is how I'm going to do this. This is how I'm going to do this. I'm going to change this into an array, an array, an array. This is going to be kind of like how I did the coin sounds, where it's just going to grab a specific index except arrays. Can you hear me now? Am I clear? Am I clear now? Yeah, now? Okay. I was just talking about arrays. Which is a collection of any type of data. In this case, have attacks 1 through 5. So 3, 4, oh, whoops, 4, and 5. Good, good. Okay. So, I've got most of this set up, so what I could probably do at this point, I could probably, oh wait, I gotta go in here, default slot, gotta do a slot node, gotta make sure I get the slot in. So what I could probably do right now, yay, he's attacking, the transition is bad. So I'm going to fix that. Blend in and blend out. I'll blend out actually, I'll give him 0.1 blend out time. And I might have to increase the speed a bit. Yeah, look at that swing. Now I'm going to have to blend that out a little better. Like to 0.3 or something. Okay, so he swings his sword. Oh my god! Okay. I'm just being silly. Okay, so I can attack. I need to be able to control which attack at any given time. So here's how this is going to work. It's going to work off of an index, which is an integer. And most of the time these indexes are always integers. Every time I press the button, the index is going to be selected. Or set, rather. So it's gonna have to take into account a lot of factors. So initial index has to be 0 because index 0. Oops. This is this. Okay. So there's going to have to be a few questions I'm going to ask every time you press the button here. How do I want to do this? Okay, first, are you holding forward? Gotta figure out what the forward direction is. I might have to put these axis values, actually I am going to have to put these axis values in a variable. Forward axis. Right axis. Because essentially all the game really cares about is whether you're pressing the stick forward or if you're pressing it right. And if you're pressing it back or left, those values are just negative. So, I'm first going to start with not printing the flow rod. I'm going to print the axis as I press it, as it is being pressed. If you'll observe, on the upper left part of the, or the left side of the screen, so this is just the up and down axis. So I'm gonna say that's perfect, Jose, because I expect a full report by tomorrow morning. I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that to you. I don't have to assign you ridiculous reports. Your school's doing it for you. That's good. That's good. Yeah, man, the better you do in school, like, the better off you are, man. Like, it just, I am super happy for you. Okay, so if I do this right, then while I'm standing still, he should just swing. Cool. And while I am pushing forward, yeah. Oops. Oh, come on. Oh, okay, I have to like fully be pushing forward. Here's the deal with all this. So, okay. Hmm. Hmm. This isn't working the way I thought it was going to work. I mean, he does lunge forward, as you can see. He just, the criteria just isn't based off of what I thought it was, which, fair enough. Let's see. So basically, Jose, if you can see right now, if he stands still, he swings his sword, right? But then if I move forward, you see he does the lunge attack. So basically, if I'm holding forward and the sword attack, he lunges. But if I'm standing still, he swings, which is what I want, except that if I move this direction, he should be lunging, or this direction, or this direction. I was trying to make him lunge, but right now I'm specifically telling him to only lunge while I'm pressing one specific direction. So like he only lunges while I'm moving him forward like this. But if I'm moving backward, then he's swinging his sword. And he should be lunging regardless. So I gotta do some mental gymnastics here. Okay, if he's moving period on any axis, basically that's what I'm saying. If he's moving on any axis, so let me get the right axis. I'm gonna have to do 4 checks, 4 questions. So here are the questions I have to ask. Are you moving forward or backward in any direction? Are you moving left or right in any direction? Oops. essentially these are Boolean values. They're just asking simple yes or no questions. So am I moving left or right in any, or am I moving forward or backward? So then if I'm moving forward or backward, or if I'm moving left or right, and then this and says are all four of these statements true at the same time in any capacity? Okay. Okay. Let's see. So this does work. It just doesn't work in the transition. Okay. It kind of works and it kind of doesn't. God. I am gonna have to change one thing here because I do want him to flip on a dime. Let's try one. Oh, that's right. I forgot. It's a negative one. Okay, so now his movement is a lot more snappy. So he doesn't have that weird turning transition. Okay. It works as long as I'm not holding any of the... I'm sure this is less complicated than it looks. It hurts my head to look at. I mean, yeah, it can get out of control if you let it, for sure. But I mean, it like logically, it's not really that complex, right? It's just learning how to ask the computer the right question. I have to collect the coins every time because I'm compelled to. Okay, so this works because I'm not pressing the cardinal directions. So that means that this should not be an and. This should be an or. And an or are okay. Yeah, that was it. Okay, cool. So right now you can kind of freely move him while he's doing this, which isn't ideal. I kind of want you to just be able to commit to the direction you're at and just kind of move. Let's see. How do you make sure that animations can cancel each other like that? So the animation right now I don't have any control for animation canceling. So right now you can cancel the animations freely with each other because there's nothing telling them not to. Every time I press the button, it is going to run all that logic over again. And when it does, it's going to get a different result. And thus, the previous result is no longer valid. So basically, it's like I'm moving and I'm stabbing now, and then I'm not. Stabbing now, and then I'm not. Stabbing now, and then I'm not. Every time you rerun those calculations, it invalidates what you did before, and it just runs the new stuff. Unless you tell it otherwise, which is what I'm going to do here in a little bit. This kind of complicates what I wanted to do beforehand. Kind of. So the next thing is I don't want him to. So I do want him to do that in the air, but I don't want him to slash in the air. Instead of slashing in the air, you're going to do attack 4. So we're going to ask yet another question. I probably should just ask if you're following the beginning. Right? We're going to set the attack index. What did I say the attack was? Attack 4. So that means we set the index to 3. It gets a little confusing because my naming convention starts with attack 1, but mathematically the array starts with 0, so that 0 would be attack 1. Which would put attack 4 as index 3. Because math. Numbers and such. So this should mean confused screen. So he should, when I jump, he should do the pogo thing. Yep, there's the pogo. So I gotta flip the sword when he does that. Hmm. There are two attacks that I am now in a pickle with. I don't know how to call them properly. Unless I add another button in the mix. I might add another button in the mix. Actually, that's exactly what I'm going to do, is add another button in the mix. Okay. So, let's move all this down. I don't want to make a lock-on, because that, I think, is just going to add a little more scope to this than I actually care for. And I don't want to make this a big thing. But what I am going to do, I'm going to go into project settings. And I'm going to add something called charge. And it's basically going to work as a toggle. So it's going to be, I'm going to need the left trigger. And for the keyboard, I'm going to need what's a good like toggle key? I guess I could use the right mouse button. Yeah, I'll use the right mouse button. Screw it. And what this is going to do is this is going to be like a move, a wheel click. Oh god, the most neglected like button. I'll make wheel click shoot. I'm going to, this is going to work as a toggle. Add charging. I could leave that as an int if I really wanted to, but I'm not a monster. Okay, where's the thing I'm looking for? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It's like orientate pawn to movement or something. Orientate rotation to movement. So it's going to be kind of an old school solution to this issue, but so the way this should work. So right now I can move and rotate freely with the analog stick, but if I hold L1 or left trigger, see now he only faces that direction, and then I can guarantee that he goes forward. What the hell? So now I'm toggled, so what did I do? Oh, I got it backwards, that's why. Okay. So now, there we go. And then now when I let go, okay, cool. So now when I hold left trigger, he only faces one direction. So ideally, I wouldn't allow him to move because I don't want to animate him strafing and whatnot. So whenever I press this, he's going to stop, and then I can do these moves and this move. And so what that's going to allow me to do I gotta kind of mess with this, but ideally what I want to happen is I'm gonna ask yet another question. I'm going to ask, are you jumping while you're charging? Because if you are, I got an attack for you. It's attack 5, which would be at index 4. Which is the up stab. So that means if I hold down left trigger, jump. Oh, wait, what? Oh, that one's true first. Okay. I have to explicitly say. I have to explicitly tell it. Are you jumping and not charging? Because if you're jumping and not charging, then you can do the pogo stick thing. So he does the pogo stick thing, and then when I hold down the left trigger, what? No, that should be. See, are you falling in? Oh. I'm not even telling it to switch, so. He's still not doing it. What are you not doing? Why are you not doing this? Why? I'm asking it. Maybe it's order of operations. Order of operations. PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Nope. Wait a minute, you know what? Oh no, let's see. Oh. I'm not even checking if it's got a charge boolean. Why didn't you tell me, Jose? God. Some people. There it is. Yay! 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 And then if I'm not doing that. Yay! 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 YouTube is like, are you still listening to the Cyberpunk remix? Or are you just sitting there like an idiot? And I'm like, well, a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, YouTube. Okay, so let's see. I've got okay. Let's review the actions I've got. So this stab. So right now I can do this stab whenever. So I really should be charging when I do that stab. Maybe. So he can do the bounce thing. I'm trying to like figure out what I want to do. You know what? I don't want him to have a charge check on this. He should be able to freely do the dash stab thingy in any direction. It's gonna feel a lot better. Don't like that he has to go through that whole thing. I'm gonna have to fix that too. Little roll, because that little roll is only meant to be in the beginning of the jump. So anyway, there's one more. There is one more question we have to ask, Jose. Just one more. The final question. The final question that we ask ourselves daily. And that question is going to be, are we charging and not doing anything? If we are just charging, if that's all we're doing is charging, so right now, without charging, we can do the slash and we can do the stab. But if we're charging, we can do the spin. Oh, I'm sorry, Shadow. My dog got a little excited because I was making noise. Okay. Got this cool spin attack. Okay, so we got the motions. Oh, that was how I meant to set that up. Wait, hold on. This has to be copied. So if we're not only if we're charging, but if we're pressing any direction. What? Did that just break anything? Did that break everything? I think. Are you charging? And is any of this stuff true? Nope. I broke it. Unless I have to... Yes, that's what it is. I gotta be explicit again. See, Jose, you gotta watch me on this stuff, you know? If you're not specific, it's like buying and selling drugs, you know? Specifics matter. You gotta be like, can you specify? Can you specify your actions, sir? There we go. That's what I wanted. So now, as long as I'm charging, he can do this. What is this? Butter? I asked for Coke. Sir, you asked for 100 pounds of the good stuff. I thought you meant butter. Fresh Irish cream butter, sir. Okay. Oh no, it's getting a little disturbed at my antics here. Give me a second. Yeah, I know. He was just like he like basically he's just like, you're talking about Irish cream butter over here, yet I have none. What's wrong with you? Okay. And even still, I'm not done asking questions here. Okay. 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 All right. So I have all of them implemented on controls that I think make sense. So that's that. Some of this stuff can be taken care of with a state, but all this to get all those implemented. So what's interesting, I'm going to pull this window aside, you can see the logic firing in different ways. I don't know if you see that. That's how fast all of that is calculated. So each time I press that button, those actions get calculated. Okay, cool. So now, oh man, I'm already exhausted. So right now these are just animations that are essentially playing. I have to make some logic to go with them. And I don't really want to try to script an enemy right now because that's a metric ton of scripting that I just don't want to do right now. So I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to make a destructible mesh or a destructible object. So oops. I'm gonna go Crash Bandicoot style, and I'm gonna make this a crate. So there it is. So let's put this in the world. Does this have automatic collision? It does. Yes. So I'm just going to allow him to destroy this crate. So when we think about destructible objects, we have to think about what exactly is happening. So with destructible objects, what's happening is that there's a collision. I can't put stuff in the crates per se, but I can have what would happen is that the crate would destroy, and at the same time I would spawn things to pop out, if that makes sense. So the crate would die, and then stuff would just pop out, and it looks like stuff's in the crate. Which is something I could try to do right now. I wanted to, yeah, basically. I wanted to make the coins like physics meshes, basically, that would allow them to bounce around on the ground and stuff, so that when you destroy something like a crate, I would have coins bouncing around and stuff. And I'll probably do that. I don't know if I'll do that tonight, but right now I have to give this guy the concept of a hit, or like of a weapon. So I'm gonna make a weapon actor. This might seem redundant because I'm going to basically give him this same sword, but the difference is that this is going to be a script, and this script will have things on it that I can change programmatically. So it's basically going to allow me to add a hitbox. Actually, no, I can't make it a component. But this thing is going to have the concept of damage, or basically a hitbox. So what's going to happen is at a certain point in the animation, in each part of the animation, it's going to make a hitbox. It's going to generate a hitbox, basically, and whatever's in that hitbox is going to take an amount of damage. And so that damage is going to be calculated on the crate. So the crate is going to have its own concept of health. Which is kind of weird to think about, like, objects having health, but that's kind of how they do it, right? They're like destructible objects tend to have a certain amount of hits they can take before they destroy themselves. So that's kind of where I'm going with that. So tracing box trace. So box trace. So I'm going to be doing something called a trace. Basically what I'm telling it to do is it's going to trace a box in the world types. Yeah, object types. Take away. And this is going to do world dynamic and pawn. So, God, I'm getting tired. But I have to finish this. This was like my goal. So anyway, if I keep talking about this stuff out loud, it actually does help. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna fudge around with these numbers real quick. So So 6 by 0 by 9, oops, not 90, just 9. So why is it 0? But typically the box trace would look something like this, where it's tracing on the blade. So when I swing the blade, it's going to draw a box over the blade like this real quick at a specific point in the animation. And then it's going to try to find anything within the box that's not itself. And when it finds something, then I'm going to say, okay, is this thing a thing you can hit? If the answer is yes, I'm going to minus a certain amount of damage from it. And then the thing that I'm minusing damage, if I have minused enough damage, it's going to ask, after I've taken the amount of damage from it, then it's going to ask, do I have 0 or less than 0 of health? If I do, I'm just going to kill myself. That's essentially how the relationship between like destructible objects and like damage work. Now you could get pretty robust with this, and this is just a reference box. I'm not actually going to use this box. Well, no, you know what? Screw it. I will use this box. I changed my mind. I will use this box. Because why not? Typically, I would just... Well, no. God, I'm just getting lazy. Okay, where's the sword? What I need to do is I need to make sockets. So... actually, hit socket 1. This goes here. Hit socket 2. This goes here. So basically these are just reference points. This is where my trace is going to start, this is where it's going to end, and then it should make a nice uniform box. So let's socket locations. So now that I've got those two little markers that I made on the sword just now, I can now reference them. Hit socket 1, hit socket 2. So this is basically the start and the end of the trace. Right, that's where it's going to start and where it's going to end. This trace reference, I'm going to get what's called the extents, which is basically the size that I just made. And then the orientation, I will do the trace reference since it's already rotating in that direction. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do for duration. Now just to test this, I'm just going to see what this sword is going to do in the world. So this sword is different from the one I currently have in my hand because it now has some like scripting magic attached to it. But what should happen is when I press play, it should draw a box around itself. And there it is. Can you see it? It's the red box. That's exactly what I want. So now I know that that works. So we're not going to do that every frame. We're only going to do that once every few frames. And I'm going to make an array, and I'm going to say reference to self. So in the world it's going to be searching for actors, and it's gonna you know, check for everything, but there are things in the world that I don't want it to check for, like for instance the player, like me, or itself, because then it is tracing, and it's like, well, you said to check for an actor, and you're an actor, so I therefore hit you, the player that I'm equipped to, which is less than ideal. So I'm telling it right here, yeah, I told you to trace, but there's a little short list of people that you have to ignore. And it will heed that advice. It will say, okay, well, since you've told me I have to ignore those people, then those people don't count. Just trying to make this look a little more tidy, but box traces always get messy. So Now that I have that trace, it needs to know what to do when it hits something. So I'm going to give it the concept of damage out. What this is going to do is this is going to be a floating point, and I'm going to give this a base, let's just say 50 damage. I'm just going to throw some numbers out here. And what it's going to do if I can find it. What? Oh, that's component. Whoops. Cast to destructible. So cast is just, this is yet another question, but it's very specific. Cast is saying take whatever you hit and check if it's a specific type of thing. And then if it is that type of thing, we're going to apply damage, which is a function I don't have to write because they already have one written for me and I love it. Damage out. So on base damage, I'm just going to plug in this damage out that I put because that's the output. And in damaged actor, we're just going to throw in that destructible type. I could fill out the rest of this, but don't really have to. So I'm not gonna. So now the crate has to be able to take damage. Oops. And any damage. So basically, this is the thing that like figures out like, oh, okay, something damaged me. When something damaged me, whatever I put here is going to fire. So I'm going to set health. I'm going to make that a floating point number. And I want this thing to die in 2 hits, so I'm going to put 100 health. So, what's cool is that I can actually expose this. So, current health for object. So, we'll see what that does in a second. So I'm going to do a getter and a setter. So I'm going to get health. So that damage that I'm throwing in here is going to come out here. So I'm going to take the damage. I'm going to subtract it from my health, right? So that would essentially be 50 damage from 100 health. And then, so the math is 50 minus 100, and then I'm going to take whatever that equals and set this back to health. So health now equals whatever damage minus health is, which in this case would be 50. And then I'm going to ask a question. Like all programming, you just ask a question. And I'm going to ask, every time you get hit, I'm going to ask, is my health less than or equal to 0? If it is, destroy me. And if it's not, we're going to print something onto the screen. Going to use some append magic here. Throw in some red. And we're going to say we're essentially going to have the crate tell us how much health they have left. So you think it ends there, but we're still not quite ready for this to work. We still have to make the concept of equipping a weapon. So what we need to do is we need to spawn an actor from class. And let's see. We're going to get transform. It's asking for a transform, which is essentially location, scale, and rotation all in one. Throw that in there. And then attach to actor. Oh, oops, I have to do this at the mesh level. Got it. Let's see. Attach to component. Sync. Let's see, target. Let's see, target is scene component. Parent to attach to. Yeah, there we go. Root component. Okay. I'm gonna keep everything relative. So essentially, now oops. What that should do is that should spawn sword in my hand. Yeah, now. It spawned a sword, but not where I thought it would go. Oh. Man, I am just forgetting all sorts of things because I'm like super duper tired. But I am committed. I'm committed to seeing this thing grow. Gotta. Basically what happened was I told it to spawn. I didn't tell it to spawn in his hand. And it's still not spawning in his hand. It is definitely spawning somewhere, so I'm not going to get his transform. Instead, I'm going to get socket transform. Let me get the like actual transform of a friggin' socket. Man, are you serious? Like, what in the world? Ah, oh god, it's like, let me do no collision on the mesh. Maybe that will help. Okay, so I'm getting better. Oh, come on. Okay, so root component. Target is actor. This might be the one I want. Yeah, this is definitely the one I want. Okay. There are two types of attach. Well, damn. Huh. Why can't you just work? I don't know why you don't wanna work. In my other project, I made this work like without a hitch. And it was fantastic. Vector object reference. So like I'm spawning it according to the transform of the socket that I want, right? And he has that socket because I was just attaching that sword to him. Can I just register this as a child actor? I can. Hashtag whoops. Hashtag I meant to do that. So the million-dollar question is, can I call what can I do from here? Can I call a hitbox? So I can active template default damage out. So it has a damage out. So tick rendering replication input. Can I not pull function? I have to be able to pull functions. Why wouldn't they let you pull functions from a child actor? It's John! What's up, man? I am super tired. But I gotta finish this. Oh, my bad, dude. Dude, I am so exhausted. Like, I am... I know, man. But I'm not going to sleep or anything yet. I'm committed to finishing this. You're totally awake. I am committed to figuring out why the hell I can't, and you're gonna keep me company on my last night shift. Oh man. Now I feel obligated to stay up. I feel obligated. John pulled out the big guns. Oh man. 7 more hours, baby. You could do it, bro. You could do it. You got this. I'm happy for you, man. Jose's with us. He's watching me over here struggle. You know I like listening to synthwave garbage. Yeah, dude, Jose's starting to sound like Peter Frampton on that guitar, pulling them strings. What was I doing? Oh, yeah, that's right. The child actor. Peter crying, maybe. You need to grab me a little something with some sugar in it, if this is the case. Okay. No, it's the child actor. I have to be able to pull functions, right? Why would they let you directly call a child actor if you couldn't pull a function? I can reference a function. Where I got the tunes. Okay, if I can reference this function in a timer, I'm working on the same thing that I was on Thursday, but I'm giving him an attack. So I already gave him an array of attacks, and I'll show you that in a second. But I'm trying to apply damage now, and it's a thing. But let me see if I can do this the way that I'm thinking I can do this. Okay, see. So he's got some attacks. So basically he's got an array of attacks. So right now, like if you stand still and just swing your sword, he does that. If you're moving around and do the sword, like he does this kind of dash lunge attack thingy. And then I gotta flip his sword around when he does this, but basically if you jump, he does this kind of, his sword's supposed to be facing the other direction, downward, so it's kind of like the Shovel Knight like little pogo thing. And then he's got a charge attack where, like, if you hold down the left trigger and you press attack, he does this cool spin move. And then if you jump and you're holding the charge, then he does... Yeah, if you jump and hold the charge, then he does this, like, upward poke. And so, yeah, like, basically, I just kind of gave him an array of attacks. So right now they're just playing random animations. And I am... I am trying to apply damage, basically. And to do that, I made like a weapon actor that has the concept of damage. I'm having a hell of a time equipping it to him and using it. See, like, right now, like, you should be having a hitbox drawn on the sword, but it's not at the moment, and I'm trying to figure out how to, because I've already scripted the concept of a hitbox plus damage. And have all that kind of ready. I just gotta make it so that when you swing your sword, the hitbox thing fires at the right time, and it's kind of a weird setup I've got here. Like, this is just weird. Anyway, like, I have like a reference to the actor, but I don't have a reference to the function from that actor that I can use. It's like, it does, like, it gives me access to like random stuff out of it, but not the stuff that I need. And the other way I was doing didn't work. I'm gonna have to do it the other way. Okay, so I'm gonna have to get weapon equip again. Basically, I'm trying to have it dynamically spawn in my hand. Oh. Well, speak of the devil. Well, there you go. I got it, guys. I got it. Thank goodness. I did not want to use that other one. So basically now that I have just like got that thing. Yeah. Let's see here. Motor variable. So equipped weapon. So now I can reference it as a variable. I still have that set up. And now, every time I attack, so first off, I'm going to go into his animation. So, I got to make it notify. Animation notify. So I add a notify. Wow, there are like types of notifies now. This is crazy. Do montage notify. And so let's see. Control. Let's see. Montage notify. And so details, montage notify, default slot. Okay. Sorry if I'm rambling, guys. Just gotta think this through here. This is where I call notifies, right? I mean, it's been a minute since I've made an anim notify, but like, yo. Oh, wait a minute. Nope, I'm doing this all wrong. Doing this all wrong. Man, I'm like losing my mind here, guys. Let's see, so I can't do it from there, so I must have to do it from a class. And notify. So let's see, hit box notify. I'm gonna save. Add notify, hitbox notify. Okay, so there's mine. The Internet Historian. I don't know if I know who that is. It sounds familiar. Have you heard who? Do you know who the internet historian is, Jose? Oh no! Come on, Unreal. Oh God! I thought Unreal was gonna crash on me. It's amazing. How amazing! Um, yeah, I'll have to look it up here in a few minutes. Animation. Oh, wait a minute. Mod Fudger. Okay. Notify name hitbox notify. Okay. This. There it is. Got it. Okay. Whew. Man. I am like losing my grip here, guys. Oh, God. Thanks, Jose. I am like... I need a... I'm gonna need like multiple hit boxes for this one. What I really should do, or what I'll do like tomorrow or something, is I'll make a state for all this. Let's notify. John's just all sorts of excited. Man, I don't work night shift anymore, John. I can't do it. I can't do it. Oh my God. You madman. Okay. No coffee. Oh my God. Okay. And beer. Coffee and beer. That's what it is. Okay. Yeah. See that hitbox? See those hitboxes? Those hitboxes. I'm gonna have to adjust those, but okay, so now should be able to hit this crate. Yeah. So crate dies in one hit, which is not what I was planning on. Damage out is 50. Okay. So here's the thing with the crate. Just keep going. You got this. I can't, John. I can't do it. See, like, it hits, like, multiple times, which is pretty OP. Hmm. This is how much I believe. That's just not going to be a good hitbox. Let's see. Okay. All right. I apologize if these are loud. That one. That last one, they just kind of phoned it in. Okay, like that one. Let's turn it down just a little bit. Okay. So that's number 6. Let's see. How do you sound that location? Hmm. Okay. Well, it's just like so much work just to destroy crates. Get some nice particle effects. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to make a notify state and not a normal notify. But I can destroy crates, I can collect coins, I can jump and stuff. So I'm happy for right now. And then tomorrow I will fix all of it, but I have the power to create hitboxes. Ah, ah, ah. And then I also need to like flip his sword upside down. Oh man. Oh, like the hitboxes only fire that frame that they appear, and then they actually disappear. The actual box trace is the thing that's kind of left behind. It's just showing where the trace happened and what was hit, but it's actually not lingering about. That's just like the debug trace that I've got. What I need, because like right now I have that event firing at a specific frame at a specific point, which is not really ideal. What I need to do is I need to make a state for those notifies, so that instead of one frame, I pick a series of frames, and then it fires for all of those frames. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do, because now the more I'm thinking about it, the more I like can't let it go. I'm gonna go ahead and make the notify state hitbox so that I can actually make it function properly. And then I'm gonna go to bed. But I'll stay up just a little bit longer for you, John. I'm going to go get something to drink, and I will be right back. John over there trying to make bad habits. No, I refuse. Stop it. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. John over here is still trying to push his evil agenda on me. My name with that YouTube will probably freak out. That hot stuff. And you make it sound so easy, John. Just to destroy myself trying to do this. Okay. I'm gonna just destroy all these hitbox notifiers. Yeah, right. See how badly do you want it? Do you want to? If you're not willing to like kill yourself, then man, you ain't ready for the games of this trip. If you're not ready to sacrifice your full health. Okay. So here's how the notify state works. Is that you choose a series of frames that you want to run your action on. And for that many frames, the action will run, which is much better than a single frame notify for this stuff. Because now with this spin attack, I can just cover that entire motion in this state, and it'll just keep firing. Same with this lunge attack. I really gotta find a way to flip that sword around for this this bounce attack. Okay, so now the idea here is to override. See, tick. Cast. Let's see. Let's see. I think it's get owner. And then I can cast to third person character. And so with the power to do this, I now have the ability to get my equipped weapon. And call hitbox. So, what this is going to look like, before I get into it, is now instead of seeing hitboxes, you know, in like 1 or 2 hitboxes, you're going to see several for several frames. Like that. Which is much better than this. Boom. You see? And like it's just way more effective of a solution for this. Yeah. So the only thing about this is it will scan all those and then it will register all those. So I have to, where's my weapon thing? It's right here. So I have to go in and I have to do this once. Because I don't want it to register every single one of those scans as hits. I only need it to do it once. Or else that would be OP as all hell. So it's still hitting, like for one hit, it's still hitting for a ton of damage. So what I can do here is I can edit the health of this box. So let me just try 500. Let's see. It's still taking a ton of damage. So I'm taking the incoming damage. I'm minusing Oh, I got my calculations backwards. It's health minus damage. Okay. So now it's working correctly, but it's still hitting multiple times. So you can see like all the boxes that are green are hitting. And I just want it so that right when it hits, it stops doing its thing. That's going to be here in the hit state. What I'm going to do here no, it terminates a function execution. It returns output parameters. So how am I going to do this? I'm gonna have to get a parameter out there first. How do I want to do this? I need to output a Boolean from someone. Okay. So I'm going to set a Boolean that says has hit. Set that to true. Alright, are you talking about that historian guy, John? Oh. I'm trash, and so am I. I need to set something in here. Okay, I'm in a bit of a pickle here. I got the state working. Now I just need to get it to stop. Okay. I'm gonna try something. Hitbox. Nope, that didn't work. Damn. Crap. Hmm. I have to stop this from firing somehow. I'm just gonna do a quick check. I'm just gonna leave this as true. Hard true. Okay, and I'm gonna then check false. Okay. So it needs a branch check before I do it. A barrel plug. Do a barrel roll. So John, how much coffee have you had? You're getting too hypey over there. You're just being raw right now. So I've established that a pre-check works. That a condition okay. A less genuine laugh. I mean, if I wasn't falling asleep over here, this is all John's fault. We're backed out for a minute. It's okay. Me and Jose are having secret messages on the side. We're talking about how to overthrow the U.S. government. You should see Jose's plan if you thought the Mueller report. No, Jose sending me the art he's doing for his channel, and it's pretty sweet. Oh yeah, Jen is his girlfriend. Yeah, like they run a Discord. It's like for people that do creative stuff. So I mean, if you want in Jose, you can ask them. It's just a thing. Like they're trying to make a community for like creative people, which I think is really cool. It's the Discord that I post in. Oh my gosh, I can't even handle this right now. This is driving me nuts. If it's true. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, that Sonic level thing. I haven't watched it yet. I've seen that video pop up on my YouTube a few times. I just never bothered to watch it. Oh, hitbox. This thing is driving me nuts, guys. I don't even, like, I can't even compute with this right now. Casting, and then I'm setting a has like a Boolean value. And then I have a completely separate thing for giving damage that only happens damaged after. Does it work if I don't have this? It totally does. Oh my hitbox. It's getting it, and then man. Oh god, guys, I cannot keep going with this. I am dying, and this is frustrating me. I will say though, where I'm at with this isn't too shabby. I am dead, John. I am dead. Got hitboxes working. All that matters is that all my attacks work. Oh, except for that one because I haven't flipped the sword. But it would work if I could flip that sword. If you die, walk it. If you die, walk it off. Oh, that's kind of a cool little spin there. I'll fix the hit boxes and such tomorrow. I gotta think about it and see how to keep it from firing too much. I kind of have an idea of how I might do that, but I just don't feel like thinking about any logistics. So anyway, if you are watching this after the fact or whatever, thanks for watching me slog through this. I'll be back. And maybe we'll fix the hitboxes and maybe add an enemy, and then we'll finish putting the level together, and then that'll be that. Well, I'll make like a menu and stuff. So, all right, guys, you take care. Jose, you have a good night. Good luck with your guitar. John, you have a great final night. And don't break anything. All right, I'll see you guys.